you've identified 3 product opportunities, it's time to start finding suppliers for those products. And it's nothing that's really too difficult. It's quite literally just a Google search. It can take a little bit of time though, but don't worry, I'm going to go through it step by step and show you how I do a Google search for suppliers. One thing to keep in mind though is that suppliers are notoriously bad at marketing. So you and I as consumers, when we do a Google search for something, how often do we go past page 1? Probably not too often. But when you're searching for suppliers, sometimes you've got to dig a little bit deeper. You might have to go to page 2, 3, 4, or 5. So here's just about the easiest method you can use. And with this method, you can find really, 99% of all suppliers just by doing a Google search. There's really no need anymore to dig through supplier directories, and supplier directories are really something that's become quite outdated. And you're going to see that you can save tons of time when you're doing your Google search by just learning a few little Google search tricks. So here's the Google search tricks that I use that are really going to help you make your Google searches much more efficient and save a heck of a lot of time. The first one is you want to search for exact phrases. So you're going to want to put quotation marks around keywords. And all you're really doing is literally putting quotation marks around whatever keyword that you're searching for. So what this does is it will pull up sites with that exact phrase in it. And the reason why that's difficult, and especially if you're putting in keywords that there's more than one word, a lot of times you'll get search results that are kind of all over the map. This helps narrow down that search result a lot more. So an example of this would be if you did a search for blue aluminum widgets in quotations, it's going to miss pages that might refer to things like blue plastic widgets. Now I am going to go through a live example of doing a search with some of these different tricks in it. So if you're not quite understanding or you're not experienced with this at all, don't worry, you're going to see what I'm talking about in just a few minutes. So the second Google search trick I want to talk about is using the 3 main supplier search phrases. So the first search phrase would be your product keyword and then the words private label. So if the product opportunity you've identified in the first module is a blue widget, you're simply just going to type into Google blue widget private label. So that's not only going to find you just blue widgets, but blue widget and hopefully suppliers who private label. The second search phrase would be your product keyword and then the word supplier. So again, with our blue widget example, we'd have blue widget supplier. Now the third supplier search phrase is the word wholesale. So you have your product keyword, the word wholesale. So in our example, blue widget wholesale. Now just in case anyone's wondering, I have the brackets around blue widget wholesale, blue widget supplier, blue widget private label. Those brackets, you don't put that in when you're doing your Google search. That's just to separate it to show you the keyword and then the modifier that we're using. And so here's a little tip with that technique. And because suppliers are not really very good at getting themselves found on Google, you might want to try putting the product keyword in quotation marks. So for our example, with our blue widgets, we would want to put that product keyword blue widget in quotations and then private label. Again, blue widgets in quotation, then supplier. Blue widgets in quotations, and then wholesale. And that will give you a little bit different results than if you didn't put it in quotes. And a combination of playing around with these little tricks will hopefully help identify some really good opportunities. So the third trick is you want to exclude sites that can clutter your search results. Now this little trick is really quite important because you're going to find that if you don't use it, your search results are going to get cluttered up sometimes by very common sites or multiple listings by the same site. So what you want to do is you want to include a modifier which is minus site colon whatever website it is .com, or usually .com, to exclude that site from your search results. So carrying on with our previous example of our blue widgets, if we put in our search terms blue widget supplier minus site colon facebook.com, what that's going to do is pull up all these blue widget supplier results, but it's going to exclude any results that are on facebook.com. And Facebook is actually one of the sites that you'll probably want to exclude from your results when you're searching for a supplier, because quite often you'll get all sorts of different Facebook search results that come up, but you're not most likely going to find a supplier on Facebook, so that's a great one to exclude. And one more quick tip with this technique. Now, if you only want to find local suppliers, you might want to include these filters, and that's minus site colon alibaba.com, minus site colon aliexpress.com, and minus site colon dhgate.com. So these three sites and the results you're typically going to get from them are for overseas suppliers for the most part. Now, I'm going to be doing another video in this module that specifically focuses on alibaba.com and using it. It's a very powerful tool, but it is for when you're sourcing products internationally for the most part. But if you want to source domestically, you might want to exclude those three sites. Okay, so here's what we're going to do right now. So what I want you to do is open your product opportunity spreadsheet that you made in the last module with Dave. And I want you to go through and pick one of those three top product opportunities, and then follow along as I search for a supplier using the Google search method. So go ahead and grab that product opportunity spreadsheet that you made last module. So your product opportunity spreadsheet should look just like this. And on the left-hand side here, you're going to have the Amazon URL of the opportunity you want to research and dig into, and you should have your main keyword for it. So let's go ahead and open up that Amazon URL. So here's the product that I've brought up on Amazon that I'm going to research. Now, I wanted to go with a very generic product. We've looked at this product before and used it as an example, and you'll see this, and sometimes silicone spatulas used in our examples because we don't want to zero in on anyone else's product if it's theirs. I have no idea if anybody's selling this, but it's a product that's been ranking very well the last couple of years. It's always kind of been up near the top, and it's the Misto aluminum olive oil sprayer. And the keyword for this is olive oil sprayer, and you can see it's got the #1 bestseller badge in oil dispensing oil sprayers, and we can see it's ranked 185 in kitchen and dining. So it's doing very, very well. So what we're going to do from here is just head over to Google, and we're going to do a quick search for our keywords, which is olive oil sprayer, and I'm going to add private label. So as you can see, we came up with a whole bunch of different search results. There are some potential ones here. This tutu.com olive oil manufacturers. So we're not really looking for olive oil. We're looking for the sprayer. You can see we've got a couple of Amazon listings. A lot of times you'll get some blogs, things like that. This may be a potential opportunity. But what I want to do right away is I want to modify our search so I can get rid of those blogs, get rid of Facebook, get rid of any international suppliers, and let's see if we can narrow down our search a bit more. So now what I've done here is I've just created a simple text document. You can keep this in Word or however you want, just to make it quick. But I've included all these little modifiers here that I like to put in my search results to exclude certain sites. Now, for instance, we can see AliExpress and Alibaba.com. I want to exclude those right now because they're more international. Now, for the purposes of this, we're just kind of trying to look for more of a domestic supplier. That's something, again, there will be a video in a later lesson showing how to use Alibaba. But for the purposes of this exercise, we're going to exclude those sites. We don't want Facebook at all, and we don't want Amazon. Now you can see here I've also excluded blogspot.com. You might find, depending on the product you're searching for, of course, all kinds of little blogs that come up in searches that are really a waste of time, and you're not going to find a supplier through them. I've also included the find.com, and really what the Find is, it's just sort of a site that I guess it just sort of pulls data in from other websites, so it's not really a good resource for trying to find a supplier. And the same thing can be said basically for bizrate.com. These are sites I like to exclude because I've never really found them to be very useful. Of course, you can add to this list as much as you want, and you'll see as we're going through our listings, as we're searching for things, you might find a site, kind of explore it and say, that's not really my thing, or it's not doing me any good, and you can exclude that one, add it to your list, no problem. So now I'm just going to head back to Google, and we're going to re-input that data or our search terms, but this time we're going to include all those modifiers that exclude the sites that we don't want to see. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the word olive oil sprayer in quotation marks. And the reason I want to do that is I want to kind of narrow the search results and refine them so that I'm not getting olive oil, because we're not interested in buying olive oil itself. We're just interested in the sprayer. So then I'll just put that in, and I will paste in the modifiers, and you can see them. And again, if you have one you want to add, just pop in add -site : whatever website.com you want to exclude from your search results. And then we can see that we've come up with a new set of search results, and hopefully a much more refined set of search results. So I'm just going to whip through here, and I am going to open up I'll just go through basically the first few search results. We'll take a look here. I can see they're all allproducts.com, tutu.com, Wemax, globalsources.com. Here's another globalsources.com. And again, a little tip: if you find the global sources isn't what you're looking for and you're getting tons of their listings, simply go up to the search results, and you can just -site : globalsources.com, and it will eliminate them from your future searches. So let's just take a quick look at the ones that we've already found here. Okay, so the first one here is an allproducts.com site. It's almost all olive oil except for this top one. So that that might be a potential one we could look at. We'll make a note of that. This tutu.com, well, it seems we've got Amazon, Target. It just sort of seems like they're for resale. Here it says olive oil sprayer bottle, and these are some Chinese companies, so we're going to avoid that one for now, because if we were targeting Chinese or international wholesalers, we'd probably do it through Alibaba.com. It'd be more efficient. And what's this next one? It's Wemax. This doesn't have a heck of a lot to do with too much. It's just olive oil, not sprayers. That one's no good. Here, I'll just get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. This next one, it's not what we're looking for exactly. I'm just going to go back, and I'm just going to pick off a couple other ones here. So olive oil sprayer wholesale. There's Misto aluminum or Misto brush aluminum olive oil sprayer. So that's the. I mean, we're obviously not looking to buy a Misto one. Buy olive oil sprayer wholesale. List of manufacturers. We can take a quick look at that. Again, I'm just whipping through this just to give you an example. So take a look at this garden buying. So they've got glass olive oil bottles. They've got some plastic olive oil sprayers. Here's one. It's a detailed satin finish aluminum oil sprayer. So that's definitely got some potential. There's another one down there. So let's just go on to our next. Oh, that one's still loading. Let's forget that for now. And this Sim Shop, it looks like a list of manufacturers. It looks like it's just olive oil right now for the most part. So let's get rid of that one and head back to our search results. So just heading back to our product or the listing we found that could be an option, which was this one from allproducts.com, and they're really just a big database. From what I understand, I've never used them, but let's take a look, and we'll just consider that as a potential opportunity. So what I want you to do is take that URL and let's head back to our product opportunities spreadsheet. So we're just going to grab the URL here that we opened, which is this, allproducts.com, and let's grab this URL and head over to our spreadsheet. Now you don't have to do it this way. You can put this in a separate spreadsheet, in a Word document, whatever you want. But all I usually do is I'll just open up a new sheet, and then from here I'll just go in and I will rename the spreadsheet here, and I'll just call it olive oil sprayer, so I know which supplier URLs I found and what product it's for. Then I'll just head up to the top and I'll plug in olive oil sprayer potential suppliers. Then from here I'll just drop down to another cell and I'll just put in supplier website, and that's it for now. Then what I want to do is I'll just take that URL that I copied from that all products site and I'll paste it in, and I'll just go through systematically and I'll grab a bunch of different suppliers. Now in general you want to have at least a few, but if I can, I get as many as I absolutely can. I mean, you don't have to go overboard or anything and get 100 or anything, but you want to have a healthy amount of suppliers. And in a future lesson here coming up very shortly, we're going to go through contacting suppliers, kind of what to say and what to do. So don't worry about that. So for now, we're just going to go out there and we're going to build our list of URLs of our potential suppliers and plug them into our spreadsheet. Okay, so let's pop back to our search results. Now, obviously, because we can't, take too long on this video, we didn't go into page 2, 3, 4. We could have really dug down a little bit deeper. But, you also want to switch it up. So instead of private label, you might want to put in supplier, or you might want to put in wholesale, and just see what different search results are coming up. And you're really going to find, depending on the product you're looking for, sometimes it can really be a chore to dig down and try and find, especially a domestic supplier. Other products, bam, 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 they're just going to come up left, right, and center. So sometimes you have to get a bit creative and try and think about it in a different way. So what I want to try and show you here is when we go back to our original product, this olive oil sprayer, what is it we're really looking for? We're really looking for some type of an aluminum sprayer or spray bottle. It doesn't really matter that it's shooting olive oil or spraying olive oil out. It's just a liquid, a fairly thick liquid. So any type of aluminum sprayer that can do that is something we'd be looking for. So instead of looking for an olive oil sprayer, let's look for something else like how about aluminum spray bottle. Let's try supplier. If you think about the actual commodity that we're looking to purchase, there's a lot of manufacturers who might make these little bottles or be a supplier. So let's see what search results come up with this. All right, so we can see that this search of aluminum spray bottle supplier has returned a lot different, or obviously it's going to be a lot different search results than the olive oil sprayer. And it looks like this one is a lot more effective because now we're kind of zeroing in on the commodity we actually want. So right away we can see a couple of ads up top here. Let's just open up both of these, and well, let's just pop in and take a look at them. So this first one, this container and packaging supply, we can see their product catalogs. They've got plastic, glass, here's some metal containers, and they've got metal bottles. And right away we can see that these are very similar to the product we were looking at. We don't know if it's going to be exactly what we want, but at least it's a starting point. You can see they've got 4 ounce, 8 ounce, and 2 ounce aluminum bottles. So what I'll do is I'm just going to grab this URL and we're going to go and paste it into our spreadsheet. Once I'm done with that, I will close out that one and we'll take a look at the next one. So elemental container, aluminum packaging. It looks like they've got all kinds of interesting. So they've got different types of aluminum, sort of the shiny, they've got the brushed. It looks like they have some different options. So that's another fantastic resource. These looks like they're more for cosmetic, but if it sprays perfumes or other things, there's no reason why it can't spray olive oil. So let's grab this URL and paste that one into our spreadsheet. Then we're going to pop back here, and I paused the video while I went in and just pasted those into our spreadsheet so we can move on quickly here. So I don't know what this Elements Bath and Body. We can see here globalsources.com. Let's take a quick look at that. A DHgate, that's an international supplier. I normally eliminate those from our search results. And then we've got thomasnet.com. Now thomasnet.com is really a supplier directory, and it is more US based, so a lot of times people will use it to try and source products from the US. And it is a directory, so you can spend a lot of time, sometimes too much time in here. I prefer to do the Google search and then come in and maybe try and find some different opportunities. So we can see aluminumbottles.com. We can see National Packaging Services. That might have some potential. Regardless, you can come in here and take a look for your product on thomasnet.com. Here's Global Sources. This is most likely, it looks like they're all Chinese based here, which we kind of expected. It's a lot like Alibaba or DHgate. So we're eliminating that for now. Again, that will be in a further lesson. We're gonna specifically just focus on Alibaba.com. And here's this elementsbathandbody.com. Now this one actually has some potential here. So aluminum spray bottles. So for those interested in making their own toiletries, not only do we have the ingredients and supplies we need, we also have containers for the finished products. So for example, our aluminum spray bottles are a great container to package your homemade toiletry products. If you make perfume or body sprays, these bottles are the perfect containers. We offer them in packs of 10 at only 69 cents each. So we don't know exactly if this is going to be what we want, but if we can get them at 69 cents each and this is selling for 10 bucks, well, you can see the potential. So I'll definitely grab this URL and I'm going to copy it into our spreadsheet as well. And we'll just put that right in here. So basically, you just want to keep sort of repeating this process. And as I mentioned, you sort of want as many suppliers as you can get. I wouldn't try and do less than 5 or 6. If you can get a dozen really solid looking potential suppliers, that's fantastic. So then what you need to do is you need to go to your next product. So you've got your top 3 you chose. Just make a new sheet, repeat the process, and just complete your list of potential suppliers. So that's pretty much it for this video. Again, don't worry about contacting them or evaluating them. Really, this exercise is just to take those top 3 products you have, build a solid list of really good potential suppliers, and then in the next product or in the next videos, we're going to look at if you're sourcing overseas, we're going to look at evaluating all these different suppliers, and then finally choosing a supplier. So we'll see you in the next video.